What's up, otakus? It's your tour guide here, and we're just winding down the weekend. It's really actually weather-wise, it was perfect here in Seattle. Warm. We had a few clouds, but mostly sunny. So yeah, it's been uh, pretty. I've been picking up some pretty good books. I've been happy with my pickups lately. I think as time has gone on, I'm getting really good at kind of deciphering what I want to add to the PC versus what I don't want to add. I definitely feel like what I'm picking up now are things I like that I want to keep, whereas stuff I was picking up before, um, I look at the stuff I picked up before, and I just don't. I question why I picked up those issues. They're not really books that are going to go anywhere. Um, they're not particularly books that I want to keep in my collection. I'm looking to sell them. And so that's what I've been getting really good at, finding like high value books, avoiding the $5, $10 or key books that we don't want to add, that just end up sitting in your collection, not being able to flip it. So those kinds of decisions. Um, and one thing I do want to mention is I'm picking up a big book. So I convinced my wife. First of all, happy birthday to Metarog. Um, this is goes out to you, buddy. Shout out to Metarog. Now, the reason I say happy birthday to him because we share the same birthday. I found this out. Um, and so happy birthday to you. And yeah, it's my birthday as well. Uh, I'm not going to reveal my age, but I'm getting up there in age. And mind you, like I'm a you know solid Copper Age collector. So, but yeah, it was a great kind of birthday weekend. And for my birthday, my wife got me all this comic stuff prior to the birthday. Like, I got the CGC submission. That was really my birthday present back about 2 months ago. And then I got an advance, kind of like I want to say almost a 6 month advance on my comic budget to pull a big book. This book here, the Stanley signature Jim Lee signed book. And so I was kind of out of budget, and I didn't really think I had much leeway. But um, I about I want to say a few days ago, there was this book that I came across on eBay. So it's an interesting one. I'm going to tell the full story. I'm only going to reveal part of the story here. And you can kind of, I guess, look through my Instagram and figure out who this artist is. But I'm only going to tell part of the story here. And when I actually get the book, I'm getting the book this Tuesday. It's scheduled to arrive here on Tuesday. I'll reveal the entire story. This kind of retell it with all the details revealed. But there's a book I'm getting. And how this came about was I was on Instagram, kind of just flipping through, and one of the artists I follow posted this great comic cover. And I was like, yeah, that's one of my favorite comics, right? By this artist. And so I commented in that post by the artist, and I just said, hey, this is your first book, correct? And this is your first work in comics, like full, work in American comics. And the artist replied, no, it's actually this other book. And I said, oh, okay. And it was a nice interaction with the artist. Normally you don't get that kind of engagement with an artist you follow. Oftentimes you comment and there's no response oftentimes, which is cool. But in this instance, again, being one of my favorite comic book artists, there was a response, and she basically, the artist told me like what book was or like the first book that the artist worked on. And so I took that information and then I went to eBay, looked up the book, and looked at the prices and all that, and I was like, this is all out of my budget. I'm not gonna be able to put this book up until I have some money, which is like gonna be next year or so, or unless I sell a bunch of comics, which I've been focusing on now. With the lack of budget, I'm trying to flip the books in my collection that I'm not keen on keeping, even if I do sell it, not at a loss, but like fairly lower than probably what I could get maximum value out of. But yeah, like I took a look at the prices. I was like, yeah, this is a book I'm not going to be able to afford. But what I did notice is there was an auction going on, and there was a bid placed, and it was fairly low. And I said, you know what? Let's just place a bid. Place a bid and see what happens. And so I placed a bid, and I just forgot about it because I thought, I'm never going to win this. That bid is way too low. We'll see what happens. And then, it's like days. It's like a couple days before the auction ends. So I just kind of forgot about it. Didn't even think I was going to win. And then a day before the auction was to end, I noticed I was still the winning bid. And that surprised me. I was just like, what? I'm still winning? No one else has bid? And it seemed like it was just me and this other guy, like that first bidder and then me, bidding on this item. And so I basically, I kind of upped the bid just in case. I was just like, I'm not going to track this. I'm not going to follow it to the end. But really, I kind of didn't even want to get it. And again, I didn't have money. I didn't want to have to explain it to my wife. Like, why did you bid? If you didn't have any money to spend, why did you bid on it? Like, I didn't want to go through that whole process. But I did also like want to set a limit. Like, okay, this is, even if I have to like go out and work for it, this is sort of the maximum that I would want to pay in this auction for that book. So I kind of bid up to that. And I think someone tried to snipe it last minute because my bid did go up, but eventually I did win. I won the auction at pretty much under the price I was looking at, or around the price I was looking at, which was a pleasant surprise. Like, this really key book. It's a beautiful book as well. And so again, that's coming on Tuesday. And so I will reveal that. When I get it, we'll do an unboxing. I'll reveal it. Maybe I'll do it live, who knows, but that's going to be a fun video to go over. And we'll reveal what that book is. So stay tuned for that. The other things I wanted to talk about are, so I've scoffed at like people, who do the speculation videos. Oh, you should go out and buy this book. You should have this in your collection. This is going to spike. It's going to go up. And I've kind of scoffed at it in the past as like, people should just buy what they want to buy. But I'm realizing now that this whole speculation aspect, as long as you're focused on what you like and the speculation behind what you like, that I feel is like something fun to do. It's kind of like you're getting what you like anyway, but you're focusing on the things that you think, okay, in a few years, or maybe within the next couple of months, this book should see an increase in demand and value. And really, for me, I've been doing it subconsciously because, I picked up two copies of this right here. I picked up two copies of that, all along with issue 8. These are things just I wanted in the collection. These are just like, you know, the books that I thought uh, were the top key books. Not maybe in value, but in terms of like what you want in the collection. I mean, Secret Wars #1, who wouldn't want that in their collection? Um, and I did this like, when I first got back into collecting, these were the books I was focused on. I'm like, I'm gonna get Secret Wars #8, I'm gonna get Secret Wars #9. It would have been nice to get the whole run, but it is sort of priced. It is a hard run to finish because the pricing. A lot of the books are just $10 to $15. But this is like super spiking now, and the black costume, man, high grade in that one. So glad I picked it up. It's super spiky. So it this kind of speculation stuff, you're not really buying it for that purpose. Like, I didn't get this because I thought, oh, there's going to be a Secret Wars. But it was in the back of my head. I was like, if they ever announce it, this will spike. But I got this because I liked it. But at the same time, like, you are subconsciously aware of things that could drive up the value of these key books. And I think that's a fun part of the hobby. That's something we probably all do subconsciously. So what I'd like to do is kind of play the game and give you and this is not for any of you, because obviously what I like and what I'm focused on in terms of speculation is going to be much different than what the community, individually, the community members like or speculate on. And a good example is like Fantastic Four. There's a lot of people picking up those Silver Age keys in anticipation of the Fantastic Four movie, and that's kind of like driving those books up in value, and for good reason. It's Fantastic Four it's a legacy title, really. But for me, that's not where the speculation is. Like, I'm not going to go out and start buying. I mean, I have bought a few Fantastic Four books, but not for that reason. I bought them because they're John Byrne. It's the John Byrne run. I want to complete that John Byrne Fantastic Four run, which is a magnificent run, Fantastic Four, for artwork and story and that. But that's where I'm focused. I wasn't trying to pick up like some of those like earlier titles, which have gone up a lot. I mean, it would have been good to have. They've gone up a lot in value, but I would have also had to invest a lot more. So yeah, let's just go on to some of the observations in terms of what I'm collecting, what I'm kind of specking on. I'll share those with you. I guess we'll start here with Black Adam, Superman. I am speculating on that. I did get 2 copies, a newsstand and a direct. The direct is the one in high grade. The newsstand is kind of like probably a 7.0 grade, maybe even lower, maybe a 6.5. But I wanted to get those books because I do think that's going to happen. I think it makes sense when you have Shazam movie and you have a Black Adam movie coming out. And Superman, we haven't heard from Superman in a while. That'd just be a great way to kind of like bring Superman back into the mix of a highly anticipated cameo, and then launch him from that cameo into like a new sort of representation. I don't like how Superman's they've just kind of been playing this sort of broken record about his like Kansas roots, and let's hope this 10-year plan that DC has planned out goes, like has a vision and really ties everything together, and they think about what they're doing with their characters. And they prioritize, like, hey, who are we going to promote to be the badass in DC? It better be Superman, because that's what Superman is. And I've been saying this for like on my channel for months now. Like, make Superman cool again, please. Jeez, quit trying to, like, he's not some kind of like thing you have to mess with. He's not a formula you have to mess with. People fell in love with Superman from the get-go because what? He had X-ray vision, he had heat ray vision, he had super strength, he had weaknesses, he had enemies, he had a girlfriend, he had a secret identity that he had to keep from people. But these are all compelling things, like romance, like a double identity, a dual identity, like super smart villains, his intelligence to outsmart super smart villains, and just go back to what works. It doesn't have to be this like kind of dumb Neanderthal with superpowers. He can be a god and still deal with godlike enemies and rescue the world in that capacity. Let him do it. All right, so again, Black Adam, Superman, that's going to happen. I would go out and get this book. It is pricey, but I feel like it's not. It has room to grow. So if you're willing to, shell out $50 to $70 for it, do it. It's what I've done already. I didn't shell out that much, but I did pay a little bit, like I paid more than what I normally pay to get that book, because again, I think it's going to happen. And when it does, hopefully we'll see Superman books spike as well. Okay, the next thing is Secret Wars. I already told you I'm specking on it, but there's a lot of... What does specking on Secret Wars mean outside of picking up like this classic book? Well, let me kind of show you where I haven't picked up yet, but these are things kind of I'm focused on. I'm just going to share my screen. And the reason I bring up Amazing Spider-Man 253 is now there's a lot of there's this sort of tiered first appearance of the black suit. I think they say it's like, Marvel Team Up. So it's like 252 Marvel Team Up and this other whatever. And they're all sort of like quasi first appearances. Fine, I'll give them that. But I'm just focusing on the main title, ASM, Amazing Spider-Man, okay, the bread and butter of the Marvel universe. And if we go 252, second appearance in the serial run is 253, $12 book. I'd pick it up. It's a key issue for different reasons, but again, second appearance of the Black Spidey spook in the serial run, and this is the reason why I'm saying this book. We know Peter Parker and the symbiote is going to produce the black suit. We're going to see Black Suit Spider-Man. We're going to see this classic rendition of Black Suit Spider-Man, okay? Black suit, white spider, white eyes. Boom, that's it. That's the character design. Doesn't even get fancier than that, right? We know it's coming. This is my argument on what I foresee or what I would like to see. Really, the Black Suit Spider-Man in comic books is very interesting. He appears in the black suit on different titles. You'll see Black Suit Spider-Man appear in like maybe I don't want to say X-Men because I don't think I've ever seen him in X-Men, but I'm sure he was in like an issue of Daredevil, for example. Um, we probably saw Black Suit Spidey in like Avengers somewhere, right? Um, or even Iron Man. And those count as well. But what I'm saying is, we're really talking about a 5-year window. So from February or January 1984 to 1989 is when Peter separated him from the symbiote, and the symbiote attached to Eddie Brock and became Venom. Okay, so really this story arc of the Black Suit was only around for 5 years. Okay, that's a small window for collecting if you think about books. Okay, Black Suit Spidey appeared regularly in Amazing Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man. Those 3 issues, those 3 titles, consistently, and then sporadically in different titles. Okay, so that can technically be a lot of issues. For example, if I go to 254, there's Black Suit Spidey. 255, there's Black Suit Spidey. 256, there's Black Suit Spidey. 257. You get my point, right? So people who want to collect this Black Spidey run, and I know a lot of people are going to want to do that. I'm in that bunch as well. I think it'd be fun to do. So, and that's kind of like, that's in my collecting wheelhouse, because I love this era of Spider-Man, this Black Suit era of Spider-Man with the web, So, for example, I love this book. Everybody who's collecting back in my day, I'm going to reveal it here. Just going to stop sharing for a minute. Who doesn't love this book? This Charles Vess cover. This is Web of Spider-Man #1. It came out in 1984, right when the Black Suit Spidey was like spreading like wildfire as the cool collectible story arc, because it's all of a sudden you get this character in the black suit and we're like, what's going on here? And then it's revealed just months later in Secret Wars, this thing is an alien symbiote attached to him and created this cool, so it's not even a suit, it's just an alien covering him, right? And then Web of Spider-Man came out, and that was just a great run of Spider-Man. Great artist Greg LaRoque, who we featured on our channel, brought us this great title, along with Spectacular Spider-Man ran with it, Amazing Spider-Man. And then we got a bunch of Spider-Man books toward the late 80s, in the 90s. Spider-Man popularity exploded during this period. So if you're a serious Copper Age collector, okay, you want to pick up this Black Spidey suit era of books. That's me. And a lot of you might be like, no, there's no collectability in that. Fine. But it's really a 5-year span along 3 titles again. And then again, these sporadic covers in different crossovers. But it's going to be a challenge, first of all, because that is, while it's a small period, it is a lot of books. I mean, looking at, just doing math in my head, that's 36 books per year. So 36 times 5, what is that? It's 150, almost 200 books, right? That you're going to try to collect. But some of them are really expensive. I mean, if you're looking at I wouldn't put the I guess it would end with the first Venom appearance, Black Suit 3, ASM 300. That's a big book. But if you're going after it, that's kind of the book you'd want to add. And I think that's always been in the back of my head. Amazing Spider-Man 300 has always been the book, the pinnacle book for the Copper Age that I've been wanting to add. So this might be just kind of like motivation, impetus to work toward that and try to pick up as many of these books as I can. So, but anyway, Black Suit, my point is Black Suit Spidey Mania is coming. And to what extent that will reach, we'll see. But definitely books like this, and the early, again, I'd go out and pick up that $12 253, and that's going to be a book for that specific reason. The second Black Suit Spidey in the run, that's huge. That's significant. Okay. Also, another thing I'm specking on from Secret Wars is Doctor Doom and Beyonder. We know some version of Doctor Doom is going to be in Secret Wars as probably the main villain. And my prediction, this is a prediction, Marvel may not go this route, but my prediction is along these lines. We're going to get the Beyonder, okay? We're going to get the Beyonder. But he's going to be outwitted or outsmarted in some way and defeated by Doctor Doom, and Doctor Doom's going to take on the Beyonder's powers and become this all-powerful, villain that the superheroes have to bring down. And I think you're going to see some like an amalgamation of Hickman and Shooter's Secret Wars with these two villains as sort of the main antagonists. And so I got this book. I picked this up book for 50 cents. I would pick up more of these. I think this covers kind of what we're going to see. This is the origin of the Beyonder. I can, for certain, the Beyonder is going to be the villain of Secret Wars, for certain. Where Doom is in that, I think is also, there's a good likelihood. So I went back and, I got this book way back in the day because I just love the cover. I was big into Age of Apocalypse and the subsequent 2099 that evolved from that series. So as you know, like Age of Apocalypse, the timeline's restored, but the 2099 story that was tied in continued, and then it got it basically got like an alternate universe run of like specific characters like Punisher, Spider-Man, Doctor Doom. They all had this sort of 2099 version or timeline of titles that continue. And so this book came out, I was like, man, cool. It's a chromium wraparound cover, beautiful cover. And this isn't key anywhere on like Key Collector. I don't know any comic book that's promoting this title as key. But come on, this is like the first time this is really soon after the Age of Apocalypse. This is what sets up for previews 2099. There's this great story again where Doom dominates, destroys all the heroes in the 2099, and just becomes sort of this all-powerful being in this in this apocalyptic setting, or post-apocalyptic setting. So this Doom 2099 is, I think, we may see some version of Doom 2099, because I think that concept, the fact that Doom is the guy Doom is the villain, the main villain of everything, is just a really, it makes sense. It makes sense to make Doom that guy, because he's, oh, I mean, you talk about these legacy titles like Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Avengers, all these like books. Who has been the core villain across the board in the Marvel Universe? Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is. So, going back to my shared screen here, I would pick up this book again. So I would pick up this book. This is the first appearance of the Black Suit named Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. Okay, this is like a really cheap book. I'd pick up 252, or sorry, 253, 252 if you can too. That's a big book. It's the first appearance, a true first appearance of Black Suit Spidey. Pick up 253. Pick up Spectacular Spider-Man 91. It's the first appearance in this title run of Spider-Man. You already know. I want to pick up the Web of Spider-Man #1. It's the first appearance of Black Spidey in that title. Go and do it. Those are 3, I think, key Black Spidey appearance books in the series. This is the other book I would speculate on and pick up, only because, first of all, this is never going to be expensive, right? I think this has quite a large print run. It might be fun to try to get in 9.8, but anyway, it's a 90s book. It's heavily printed. Maybe pick up a newsstand. That might be a little bit more challenging, but whatever. This is a fun book to have in the collection. It's a unique Doom design here with the suit. It kind of looks like, I don't know. He looks just. And the suit is just like blue. It's not what you typically associate with Doom. It's got a blue cloak, like silver armor with spikes and stuff. Pretty cool design. And again, I think we'll see some form of, I don't know if it'll be this Doom 2099 design or the one I just showed you earlier with the red cape. But I can see them changing the color scheme on Doom rather easily for the Secret Wars. Because again, we're talking about, if we're talking about alternate universes and a character that's been affected by alternate universe, we can bank on all these character designs being radically different from the specific Marvel designs that we're accustomed to. So we may see Doom 99, we may see some version of Doom 99, but either way, I'd go out and get the book. I think it's not a big investment to pick up this book. You can probably find them for $1 in dollar bins. It is a dollar bin book for now, but maybe not for much longer. The other thing I'm really specking on is, as you know, I am looking forward to the Spawn Batman crossover. I think it's coming out in December. Is it October or December? It's coming up soon anyway. And that's the Capullo McFarlane. So I think McFarlane is writing and Capullo's doing the artwork. Man, that is just a reunion collaboration of epic proportions in most, I think, collectors' realm, and I'm so looking forward to that. So I'm also, I realize, like, for me to be so excited about that book, I'm also excited about Spawn the character. So I just kind of would, not that I'm going to get previews number 3 from 1992. I'd love to get this. It's an amazing cover. I'd have to get in low grade or mid grade. I don't think I can afford that high grade copy, but we're on the lookout for it. Maybe we'll pick it up in a dollar bin box somewhere. That's It's like a dream of mine to find books like that. But who knows? That's why we hunt. Um, I'm definitely going to pick up more copies of Spawn #9. First appearance of Angela. I'm specking on that. I only have my original copy up to this point. And I haven't run across it. I've been hoping to run across it at like half price books, but it hasn't happened yet. But if we run across it in a comic book shop and it's like $20 or near, we're picking it up, because that's just ridiculously low in my opinion. That book is gonna spike like no. I mean, I already see it. Certain people selling it for $50 and stuff, like anticipating the spike already. But again, we're gonna try to pick it up cheap. Other key Spawn titles, I guess, like first full appearance in Ninja Spawn 301. These are things that would be fun to just kind of collect. I think they're not big investments. It's still rather. I'm not going to try to pick up these like ratio variants or anything. I'm just going to try to pick up some key appearances, and do that. All right, next thing I'm specking on is Psylocke. Not that I think Psylocke's going to come to the big screen. She'll just be part of the X-Men team. But for me, I just love collecting like great Psylocke covers. And I've decided, okay, let's pick up some Psylocke key first appearances as well. There's like Captain Britain that I think it's her first major appearance. It's a couple $100. I wouldn't go that far to try and pick it up, but I will pick up this one. This is the first appearance of Psylocke. So as you know, she's Betsy Braddock. She joins the X-Men, but she doesn't actually become Psylocke until the New Mutants Annual #2. That's when she's given the designation of Psylocke, and she looks completely like different than until, again, in X-Men 256, Jim Lee presents the best gift for collectors and gives us the modern, the Psylocke we know today, the Ninja Assassin Psylocke. Thank you, Jim. And happy birthday to Jim, too. It's Jim's birthday a few days ago. But yeah, this is where Betsy Braddock becomes Psylocke, so she's going to try to pick this up. This is relatively cheap as well. It's not an expensive book, so definitely would go to comic shop. If I find it at a show or a comic shop, and it's selling around $5 to $10, I'll pick it up. Having said that, this is where Psylocke joins X-Men 213. She joins the team, so that's another key Psylocke book to pick up, and it's a great cover here. Alan Davis, Sabretooth, and Wolverine locked in their eternal battle. I think Sabretooth would be a good book to speculate on as well. He's such a popular character. When you think of Wolverine, that's Wolverine's nemesis, right? So we're going to get like Wolverine standalone movies. This is coming. Sabretooth is going to be the villain. And we haven't seen that up to this. I mean, X-Men Origins. Sabretooth is there kind of as his like quasi brother or whatever. It's just weird. Didn't really, I don't know. I didn't like that movie. So there's a lot of room for improvement in terms of the rivalry between these two. Okay. And I guess the last thing I'm specking on is Daredevil, the new Daredevil series, Born Again. Not that I'm going to go out and pick up that Born Again first issue, or one thing I would like to pick up though is the Elektra first appearance of Elektra. That is like getting out of range for most collectors now. It's past the $1,000 mark. It's something I really should have picked up right when I got back in the game, or back in the day. because it's just kept spiking throughout this past year. And it's really, I think, out of reach. But we're gonna try to pick up more of the Frank Miller run, Daredevil run, because this is again in my wheelhouse of collecting. This is kind of my next target. This is like a $30 to $50 book already, but still affordable. Great cover by Frank Miller, 183 and 184. Again, two great covers. These are classic Daredevil books. And they're getting the whole gang back together. The new Disney series, Daredevil, they're gonna bring Kingpin, they're gonna bring who's the actor that played Punisher. They're gonna bring that guy back in. They're gonna bring back Elektra. Hopefully they bring back the actress who played Elektra. Man, was she amazing as an actress, and just an absolute beautiful portrayal, like literally and figuratively, of the character Elektra. That was just a great series. I enjoyed it very much. Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil, everything tied together in that last season of Daredevil. I loved it, and I'm looking forward to more of it. So I think all those books, anything key related to Kingpin, Punisher, Elektra, Daredevil, I think are worth picking up. I don't, for example, Amazing Spider-Man 175. This is has an origin of the Punisher. It's not that crazy expensive. I'd probably want to pick up that red reprint of Punisher as well. Punisher First Appearance, the red reprint of the Amazing Spider-Man 129. That'd be something we want to pick up. Punisher War Journal #1, which is kind of like off everybody's radar. It's still selling for like $10, which I think is ridiculous. And this is the most recent, 2022. This is a key issue because in this issue, the Punisher, he makes a contract with the Hand to get their secrets and have access to their immortality and superpowers. And it's where Punisher actually becomes he's not Batman anymore. He's kind of like Marvel Universe's Batman, right? Just this ultra angry, violent, mercenary type character. But now he's got powers, but he does it for all the wrong reasons, and he's actually a villain, probably. But I think that's good. I think Punisher being a villain makes sense. It makes more sense than being this sort of anti-hero character. So yeah, Punisher would make a badass superhero villain, man. So again, if all that comes to fruition at some point, this is just a great book. I'm sure there are some great. Let's look at the variant covers, see which one we want. Oh, we got some beautiful ones. Look at that one. This might be one to target. Mark Aspinall. It's great. I think this one here is the original by Jesus Saiz. It's a great cover with all the ninja stars and the chest plate and the blood. Beautiful cover. Okay, so that's kind of it. Thanks for, again, when I share speculation like this, it's not for you guys to I'm not telling you to invest in these books or telling you to go out and buy what I buy or what I want to buy. I'm just sharing it to give you insight into what kind of collector I am and where my focus is when I'm out on hunts. So this is kind of where my focus is. And what I find is when you're focused on a hunt like this, when you put things in your radar, in your sphere, you run across books. And when you do run across those books, you're going to pick them up. So it's always good to go out on hunts with a set of items or things that you want to add to the collection. And all these books I just covered, if we found them at half-price books or somewhere like in a long box and it's reasonably priced, yeah, it's coming home with you, right? It's coming home with you. So again, these are some books that I think have some speculation value. This one already is valuable. I think though it's an undervalued book still. I mean, $20 for a first issue from the Black Spidey era, it's ridiculous. One of the early appearances of the Black costume too. Yeah, this should be $100 book, easy. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I guess we'll see you in the next one. Peace.